any other doubts, anyone? All right, so probably then we can like start with file handling. So last session we discussed just the basics of file handling. That majorly we have this open function for opening the text file, X for creation, R for read, W for write, and A for append. Right. So currently I don't have any file. Right. So let's create one file. Let's check if file is created. Yeah, file is created. Fine. So now I'll just run this sample text. Sample text is nothing, just multi-liner. This one lines, right? So just a sample text. So f equals to open as write and f dot write sample text. So we have added the text and file. Yeah. So basically the text in the file has come, right? Now let's do some operations. Yeah, so you like in last class only we did like simple just one for loop implementation, that how can we count the number of lines, right? Any doubt till here? How can we create a file? Yeah, sure, sure. So basically, I'll change the name. So f equals to open in the brackets. You can specify. I'll zoom it a bit. Yeah, we can specify whatever file name we want to give with a dot txt or like whatever extension we want. Comma in inverted commas we specify x. X specifies creation. So basically, we want to create a file named this. Yeah, so basically in Google Colab you are in the left side, you have these options, right? So you click this folder button. Yeah, this folder option. So you'll see here you can also link Google Drive because these files are temporary. In Google Colab we just have 12 hours window, so basically like after 12 hours this file will go, like it will be automatically deleted. So like since Colab is used like in like every data science or like day-to-day life or like in college or anything you do in like lab or any research work, Collab is used greatly. So what we do is we mount our Google Drive. We have Google Drive, right, to store the files and all. Yeah, so basically I can like show that. So there's a command like from google dot collab import drive, sorry, and drive dot mount content drive. This is just these fixed two fixed lines. So connect to Google Drive. This comes and you just give the permission. This is my mail ID. So I've given this permission and then allow. So using this, my now Google Drive is linked to this Google Colab, and now whatever changes I do, like read, write functions and file, it will be stored in Drive, and that is permanent. So no issues in that. So I can also show that like how can you import the path, right? So again, click on this folder and you have this drive folder is new, right? So this drive will open whatever file is stored in your drive. So basically in my drive I can like see what like things are there. It is hanged, just a minute. Yeah, basically like this is my drive. So like let's say I want something from let's say this folder. So I can just single click on this and the details have come. So like in front of the files we have these three dots, so you can click on these three dots and you can just do copy path. So you can see like F equals to open, and then I can just do control C and control V. So I have this, so I can also run it. So see, file has successfully been run. So now F, F now stores my file contents, right? Just give me a minute. Rancho, बाहर चलो. चलो बाहर चलो यार, क्लास चल रही है, मेरे से इसको देख के भाग रहा है. चलो चलो जल्दी. Yeah. Clear till this part? Yeah. So basically, these two lines are quite important and are used in every project, every collab you use. These opening files, writing files, and like appending or writing or reading files, these are used in all the projects because obviously you need data, right, in projects. So this class is, yeah, hello. Path as well because you need to like tell the collab, right, that where the file is stored. So we need to write the path. So the local files which we temporarily add to Google Colab always have this content, and then so basically like you just open this folder and you can like click on the three dots and you can just simply copy the path to avoid any confusion. Yeah. So the drive files will be here, and whatever the local files we have, like file name.txt we just created, right? So this is temporary. This will be deleted after 12 hours. So in that also you can just click on the three dots and copy path. So I'll just say that. So see, content and file name. This content folder is the file path basically. And then our name, and in file name it is important to give the extension whatever we have like .txt, .csv, or like in folder we just have the folder, so complete. All right, so let's like move further. So in file name.txt we have added our content. Now let's say we want to uh, I can like first introduce try and accept handling also, that is like also good. So there is a concept of file handling. So what happens is we have try and accept loop. So we just write try and simply the indentation, and then we can do like f equals to open and whatever file name we want to give, like file name dot txt, let's say. And then what we do is all the try loops are followed by except, and we can like say file percent s does not exist, and we write a percent f and percent, and like we can specify the file name. So like in our case it is so like simply we can just do that file does not exist, or anything which we want to write, whatever the error should be thrown. So first let's try what happens. So it ran fine, like no error is given, right? But if I change my name, so this file does not exist, file does not exist, my error came. So basically it tries whatever the lines are there in the try loop, but if any error comes in the try loop, it goes to the except block, and whatever commands are there in the except loop, it executes that. So basically like the initial error, otherwise like I'll just run this command, so let's see what happens without try except. See, file not found error, no such file or directory. This error came, right. But if we like don't want that, our code should stop. Sometimes there are like situations where we don't want our code to stop, but yeah, we should like just know what error happened. So if we run without try and except, error will come and our code would stop. Whatever, like after this also we have some code or not. But in try and except, we just get this print statement and our code doesn't stop. Like if we have any other command which does not like include this file contents and there's any other thing we should like do, then it happens. This try except is fine. Yeah, okay. So now, after opening the file, let's say we want to check that we have multiple lines in this file name.txt, right? This command. So we want to check that what all files start with some specific word. Like let's say I want to check that how many, like what are the lines starting with sometimes. So let's see like how we can do that. So like any idea how we can do that? Like see, first of all, we need to open the file in which we want to see. So f equals to open file name.txt, and I want to just read my file, so I can just specify r, right? Now what I can do is, for I in f, so this will take all the lines. F contains multiple line, 10 lines, we saw 10, 15 lines, right? So let's say f contain 10 lines, so I is all the individual lines. So we can also like print I to see what is I. First like only check this one. So see, all the individual lines came, right? Now I just want to print the lines whose first word is sometimes. So what I can do is, if I dot starts with, and I can specify the word, let's say sometimes. If this condition is true, then print the line. Let's say we want to like count the number. So if you want to like keep a count that how many lines start with sometimes, so who will tell me that what should we do? Yeah, Pratiksha. Yeah, yeah. I dot count. So where should I add that? Yeah. So basically, till here we are just printing whatever lines are starting with sometimes, right? Starts with is just an inbuilt function which we have used. So these, we got these three lines which start with sometimes. Now if we want to keep a count that how many lines start with sometimes, so basically we want to get like result as output as 3 because there are 3 lines. So how we can do that? Like here we counted the number of lines, right? Print count. For line in f, we increase the count. So here if we want to check that if, like how many lines start with the word sometimes, how should I modify my code? Count the number of lines starting with word sometimes. What should I do? Very simple, just one, 2 lines. And we actually did the same thing while counting the number of lines. So that means you didn't understand this then. This is clear or not? Hello? Yes, no? Yeah, we just made a variable and increased the count, right? with every iteration. So what I can do here, if I just want to keep the count, एक वेरिएबल डिफाइन कर देते हैं एंड उसको इंक्रीज करते रहेंगे जब जब ये कंडीशन ट्रू होगी. यस नो. सो कैसे करेंगे? हाँ मतलब बेसिकली बस जस्ट एक जैसे वेरिएबल काउंट रख देते हैं, कुछ भी रख सकते हैं, लाइक काउंट डबल टी इक्वल्स टू 0 एक डिफाइन कर दिया हमने. फिर यहाँ पे बस जब जब ये स्टेटमेंट ट्रू होगा एंड इस कोड ब्लॉक में आएगा, व्हाट आई कैन डू इज काउंट इक्वल्स टू काउंट जो है हमारा +1. So I'll print the count also in every iteration. अच्छा ओके. Variable name is, so got my point. So basically it checked like first line, so sometimes they are 5, so in this line this condition became true, so it printed that line, and then it increased the count and we printed whatever our value is in count. So count equals to, initially it was 0 and then +1 1. Again it checked with this line, if condition is true, line printed, and then our count was 1 since we initialized with 0 but then it increased to 1, so 1 plus 1 2, 2 printed again, like 2 plus 1 3, 3 printed. Any doubt still here? Hmm. Clear? Okay. If it is clear, then you guys have studied lists. Yes, okay. So, like, just help me out with a simple question. So, I have one list as 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say 7. So, I want to find the sum of this list. How can I do that? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Why 1 to 8? Because I want to. Yeah. 1. Hmm. Hmm. Perfect. And then. Perfect. So I can like outside for loop, right? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, because this point is very important. Why outside for loop? Because otherwise the variable will be initialized again and again if we do inside for loop. I like so like once let's define a variable inside for loop. So you'll understand my point. Let's say I initialize my variable here, right? And yeah, and if I now do like count equals to count plus, and like I want this, so I what I can do is like array I, right? to access this element, right? So now let's try to print what our count is. Let's see what happens. So see, 7 came. And like why 7 came? Because in every iteration this count is assigning the value 0 and then 0 plus whatever the element is. So basically this for loop will start when the last digit will come, right? 7 will come, last element is 7. So simply, yeah, so basically like we can also do like print count here to be more clear that what is happening. I'll do print before addition, and I will print the count, and here I'll do after addition, right? I'll also print I, that will be more clear. So see, when I equals to 0, before addition 0, correct है. ऐड करने के बाद फर्स्ट इज फर्स्ट, सो ठीक है 1 हो गया. बिफोर एडिशन अगेन 0, बिकॉज हमने फिर से 0 कर दिया ना काउंट को. पर हमें तो ग्लोबली देखना है, ग्लोबली मतलब टोटल का सम देखना है. That's why, that's why we need to keep our variable outside for loop, because इससे total global sum आ जाएगा, मतलब like count बार बार zero नहीं होगा. So let's check now. So see, before addition में we are having the value. So अभी ये remove करते हैं जिससे we don't confuse. We can like keep one print statement. So after first addition 1, then 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10, 10 plus 7 70. Any doubts? No? All clear? Pratiksha, Sakshi, clear? Clear? Okay. No, we can also do for I in array. So we can also do something like for I in array count, and we can also do like plus equals to. What is plus equals to? So count equals to count plus. This is the shortcut. Okay. Yeah, and plus equals to I, and not array I, because I automatically takes the variable. So I'll define the variable and let's do array is defined already. So let's print count 70. We can also do like for I in array. So this basically takes the indexes and this takes the number directly, whatever is there in our array. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So like now this is clear, right? How can we keep the count? How many number of lines starting with sometimes? Okay, perfect, perfect. So let's say now we want to keep track, we want to like have a vocabulary that in our file there are multiple words, so we need to find the frequency of all the words. One thing is like we can do a for loop and like do using dictionary also, but like I can show from inbuilt function also. So there's something called as collection. So from collections import counter. This is an inbuilt function. I will do if we already have, right, I'll specify again. So f equals to open file name dot txt. Read is automatically like default, so doesn't matter we specify read or not, but yeah, it is a good practice to specify since we want to read the file. So now if I want the frequency of all the words, what I can do is print uh, counter counter, I can specify the file content, that is f dot read dot split. Let's see. So see, we have got a dictionary, that how many times the word are came, sometimes came, they came, and like so on. So this is just to get the frequency of all the words. Otherwise, like we can also use for loop. This if you like check the count implementation from this collections library, basically you can like see that it is nothing. Just you can also like try as your like homework or like after class question. Try to find all the frequencies of the words using for loop. Again, this is like very straightforward, but yeah, just give it a thought. So, like now, let's say if we want to search a word in a file. So, any ideas you guys are getting, like how can we search a word in a file? So basically, if we like need to find the count, like how many times the word came, or like just true false, anything which you want, we can print the count. Okay, count a word in a file, and we need to use for loop. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So like, what should I write? Like what should I write then in like using the file? So like how can we like then write it like using the file? Something like for line in F. Okay, F is like already defined. This like yeah, yeah. Yeah. So then okay. Hmm. 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 Okay. Let's say like our word is R. Okay. Hmm. Plus equals to 1. 0 as expected. But we have 5. Can like anybody tell me like there's just a little mistake we are making here. What's that? The structure and all is fine, like very good attempt, but yeah, just some more addition. Each and every line as in exactly complete. It is taking the complete line. Correct, correct. Yeah. So basically, as we printed line, so this for line in F, so F contains all the line. So line contains every individual line. So let's print line to be more clear. What is line? Why didn't print? Strange. Okay, then probably we need to write F again. So we'll write F again. So F equals to open file name dot txt, and we did a so yeah. So for line in F, so line is just like in every loop we are getting one line, right? So it is complete, but like you are a slow learner, Winston. So line is this whole string, but and like we compared it to like just a single word, so it will not be true. So what we can do is instead of this, we need to traverse all the words in this line, right? So now we need to do, like, we need to think that how can we get all the words from this line. Line is the single thing. So what we can do is, we can split this string using all the spaces, like wherever the spaces are we can split the words, right? Right. So there's a split function, right, to split the string. So what we can do is, so we can have like a variable words line dot split, and in inverted commas we can also specify that what we want. So we want to split using a single space. Single space mean wherever we see a single space, split. So basically we can now, let's like first only print the words. Sorry, not in inverted commas, just the word. So I think this point is clear, right? For variables, we don't need inverted commas in print. Otherwise, like it will take it as a string and it will print the like exact words. So I'll add a break statement. Break statement means like it will just run for a single line. Let's see what are the words. So see, line dot split gives us a list of words. So you are a slow learner, comma, Winston and new line. Got it? So we got the words. Words is a dictionary. So now what we should do to get our count? What can we do? Who'll tell me? Again the same thing we did above. We have list of words and we want to find a specific word, like in our case R. So what can we do? Just words where we need to find it, right? Exactly. We can again use for. So what should I write? Hmm. Okay. For word in words. अभी काउंट नहीं. हाँ. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, double equals to our like word which we have specified upper with variable WOR double D. Yeah, increase the count. Perfect. And now let's print the count. And like what I am saying is we need to like have like run this again if equals to open, otherwise it was not taking the file. So print count 5R and R was 5. Correct. Perfect. Now using this same trick also, like I gave you a question, right? So like after this class you can try to get this dictionary by yourself, right, without using the inbuilt counter function. So that is clear, right, what you need to do. You just need to find all the frequency of the words, like what are the words and how many times they are occurring. So again, like there you can use this like for line in F, for word in words. And one more hint is like you can use a dictionary for that. So yeah, you can try that. And like if you are not able to come to solution, feel free to just message me on WhatsApp. I'll like share the solution and like how we can approach that, right? So this was all about the text file handling using text file. Any doubts still here? Any questions, any queries you have? Otherwise, like we can move on to CSV, or like if you want, like I can should explain some portion again. Feel free to share. What list? is read. If you want to read the file. X for creation. X for creating the file. Yeah. Like I showed, right? Yeah, here. So X for creating the file, R for read, W for write, and A for append. Yeah. Because like if we do two simultaneous write operations, then the previous write will be overridden. So if we write, let's say like we do f dot write hello, and then in the next line we do f dot write world. So if you'll check in the file, only world will come and hello will be disappeared, because like write overrides. But if let's say like we have written hello, we have hello in our file, and we want to append the world, so we use a in that case. A does not overrides the data. Yeah, fine. So now we can start with file handling. For CSV. So using like if you want file handling for CSV, one like very important, I should say, library is known as Pandas library. So if like you are using Pandas for first time, what you can do is pip install Pandas. So for me, the requirement is already satisfied because I have it downloaded. But like since you guys will be using first time, you can write this statement to download pandas in your collaborator. And like this is permanent. You don't need to like download it after every 12 hours. Not needed. So just one time you need to do this pip install pandas. So pandas is nothing but just a library which again you'll use in every code, every project, whatever you do using Python Colab, pandas will be used because csv file is comma separated file. So basically I'll show this file. So yeah, so basically we have this like tables made, so comma separated files, so all the values are like comma separated. This is just the visual representation. So you have this tabular format, right? So similarly like we have xls, whatever like excel type file format we have now, or tsv tab separated format, in which like every row has like a tab in between to specify different columns, right? So this is known as a csv file. So this iris dataset is like a very famous dataset for beginning any like tutorial or something. So what we have is we have some flower dataset here: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the class means what type of flower is this. So like iris setosa, and we have like other also. Here we just have 10 entries, right? So we can see, so iris virginica and all, and their statistics we have, right? So this is something known as this one, csv file. So I can like share this file. I just like download this file using Google, and I'll share this in the WhatsApp group for you guys to try. So first of all, like if I want to read the file, how like if using text file, we used f equals to open, and this text file also. So like CSV file also we can read in this format. But yeah, pandas has multiple other functionalities, so we also use like in csv we mostly use pandas. So let's see how we can do that. So I'll just have like a variable, let's say data. So data, and first of all like I need to write an import statement. So import pandas as pd. Like what is pd? It is absolutely not necessary to write this like as pd. As pd is just that we don't have to write complete pandas again and again, and we can just write pd. So basically like we have written short form pd, so pd equals to pandas, like that way. Okay, so import pandas as pd, and I'll run the cell to import it. Yeah. This you have to like write in your every collaboratory import statements. Installation is one time, but import you have to do. So let's say data equals to pd dot read underscore csv, and then specify the file path. So file path we know is content and iris dot csv. So let's print our data to see what happened. Great. So we got our data. This is the index and sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the class. So let's see what is the type of our data. Type is panda score data frame. So data frame is like when like important data structure in panda. So data frame is nothing, just tabular sort of format, right? The csv format we use pandas to like you get this data frame, because like in f dot open we don't get any data frame or something. It is just a simple string like we saw yesterday. So in CSV, we like always use pandas for easy functionality. Now I can like show multiple functionalities of pandas. So like till now we have just read this data and we have checked what is the type of our data. It is data frame. Cool. After that we can let's say we just want to see some rows, right? So data dot head. So data dot head just shows some sample few rows to see that how our data looks, because our data can be quite large. If we just write data, if it has let's say 1 million rows, so our collaborator can hang right with such large data. So just to have a quick view of how our data looks like, we can do head and just bracket open, bracket close. Then if we want to, head just gives first few columns, but if randomly we want to see let's say only 5, so we can do like data dot sample and specify whatever the number of rows we want to see. So it has also given the index numbers. This is for checking that how like randomly how the rows are looking, right? Now let's say I want to get the column names, that in my data frame what are the column names. So I can do data dot columns. Okay. Sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and the class. Whenever we read a CSV file, whatever the first row is, pandas automatically takes it as a header. Any like doubt still here? Yeah. Where? Okay. So we read the data, check the type, data dot head to check the first few rows. Then we have data dot sample to view randomly few rows, and how many rows we want to see we can specify that in the bracket. And then data dot columns to get the column names. Then if we want to check the shape of our data, so we have something known as data dot shape 150 comma 5. That means 150 rows and 5 columns. Yeah, hello. Yeah. Hmm. Sample. Okay. Yeah. 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 So basically, for that we have something known as lock and ilock functions. So let's say you want fifth row, right? So what I can do is data dot ilock. So basically index location, and I can specify the index number. So 5. So for fifth, it has given me the answer that whatever the values are. If you, yeah, if you want any specific row. Similarly, iloc may we specify the index, right? Similarly, we have data.loc, and like this pandas data frame is again like very important in the future. Also, like you'll see LOC, ILOC, this head shape. Maybe like you might think like this is like so trivial, but yeah, like it is used absolutely like multiple number of times because like to get the data, like to get the characteristics of the data, that's how our data looks, right? So it is used extensively there. So let's say I want to get all the rows where my class value is iris setosa. So for that, what we can do is we can do data LOC, and in square brackets we can write data, and the header was class, right? In that exactly we need to write that. So data class double equals to iris setosa. Let's see what happens. Key error. Let's see why it is a class. So it is not finding class column. So let's see why. Okay, so like can it be tell me what's the error? Why I'm getting this error? My column names are this and I have written this. So why it is not able to find this column? I have class here and I've specified class here. But why it is not able to find? Exactly, exactly, exactly. Very good. It is case sensitive. So these things like you have to take care. Yeah. So see, we have got all the columns where class equals to iris setosa. We can just cross check. So yeah, no iris virginica, just iris setosa. All right. Then let's say we want to keep the count, like how many what are the like unique counts of these iris setosa and iris virginica, let's say. So what I can do is I can specify if we like want to access any column now, so we can just do data square brackets and then specify whatever the column header is. So this will fetch me that particular column, right? Data class. So now if I want to check the counts, that what or the unique counts, so I can do a dot value underscore counts. So see, iris setosa 50, iris versicolor 50, and iris virginica 50 rows. So this way I can get the value counts of any categorical data. Categorical data means like this, like something which is categorical and not numerical. Otherwise, like we can implement on numerical as well, no issues. So like let's do this. So sepal length. So we can do this also, like how many times 5 came, 5.1, 6.3, and so on and so forth. Now let's say I want to find the let's say sum of this sepal length column, right? So what I can do is again take sepal length, data sepal length, then what I can do is dot sum. Got the sum. If I want sepal length, if I want to get the mean value, let's say, what is the mean of this column? The mean function, right? If you want median, so again you can do dot median. If you want to get the max value of this, so what is the maximum sepal length? Max is 7.9. What is the min value? We have dot min. Pandas has made our life so simple. Otherwise, like we had to check all 150 columns and like apply a for loop and then using like for loop, we can definitely check that, right? That what is the minimum value. But in just simple single word dot min, we can get the minimum value. Quite amazing, right? If we want to check if there's any null value in our data, so data dot is null, and let's say like first just check if there's any null value or not. So we can do dot now. Function has okay is null में we have a bracket. Yeah, so no column has any null values. Let's say we remove the sum, we get data dot is null, so it will return true false. So if any value had null, then it would show true, because like in real world data set it is very common that we get some value as null. This is just a hypothetical matlab data set, so yeah, like all the like values and all are like proper, so there is no null value. So clear till here? Okay. And let's say like we have a data frame data, right? So data is data frame, we know. If we want to write this data frame in a CSV, so what we can do is pd dot not pd, we can just specify whatever the data frame is. So data dot to CSV, and then we can specify. So I can like say sample dot CSV. Let's see what happens. So yeah, sample dot CSV, and yeah, our data frame is there. All the complete rows. Specify the data frame variable, so data and dot to CSV, and give the name. We can also save it directly to Google Drive as well. So in that we can just say content drive my drive, and then let's say I have like after that like you can specify the file name also, sample.csv, or like in any folder also, like let's say I have a subfolder in my drive, so subfolder and this, so this will automatically save it to your Google Drive if you have your drive mounted. Okay, so like this was briefly all about pandas data frame. You can like do multiple other things as well, but yeah, this was just a brief glimpse that what all you can do in pandas. So pandas, like I really enjoy working with pandas because like I found it like quite like fun to work, because things are like just on a fingertip, right? Dot sum, dot min, and like whatever you want to do, literally believe me, like whatever little bit manipulations you want to do, Python is like really a beautiful language. You can do multiple things with this. So whatever question you have, just type it on Google, and definitely I'm dead sure you'll get something on Stack Overflow or any other website to like easily implement that. So, like getting some specific column value, some row value, modifying some column using any condition, everything can be done using pandas and like Python easily. So, yeah, Python is like must like beautiful language for data science. So, like I can pause for a minute or so if you like guys want to like look something or grasp something or ask something, and then we can like move on to numpy. Any doubts? Yeah, column, let's see if we but like for getting a specific column, no need of using ilog, because like if you want to get any specific column, you can just do the variable, and in like square brackets you can specify, let's say I want to get the class column, so you can just do this, so you have got the column. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're audible. Uh, like required number of rows, as in. Okay, okay, okay. Sure. Just give me a minute. नहीं मम्मी 1 मिनट आ रही हूँ हाँ ठीक है कम yeah. So now, like, if you want to get some specific rows and columns only using iloc, we can also do that. So iloc just like the I stands for index, right? So we can specify that. So like you can write data and then dot iloc, and then first we can specify the rows, and then using after comma we can specify the columns. So for example, let's say you want to get all the rows for let's say first column, right? So this will get the second column because like 0 1 2 3 for indexing is that way, right? So let's see like what happens first. So 3.5 3.0, let's see what is this in our data. So first column we got, right? Sepal width. Now let's say I want just row 10 to row 15. If I want to include row 15 also, so what should I write here? 15 or 16? No, 16. Why? Exactly, exactly. With this, like, this is always true. Like, if we write this way, right? So, it is like always the case. So, basically, in iloc, first, we have like for specifying rows, first write rows, and then after a comma, you can write columns. Column indexing is always in Python, indexing always starts from zero, right? So, if you want first column, you need to write zero. I like hope this point is clear. So now, like, let's say I want to have multiple. Yeah. Any doubt? Zero is for first column. So basically, in Python, we have zero indexing, right? 0 1 2 3 4 that way. Yeah, because like if we like, let's say have a array 1 2 3, and I want to get this number one, right? So what will I write? Array of, मतलब array and in square brackets. What should I write? If I want to get this one. Perfect. Why zero? Because Python has zero indexing, right? The indexing starts from zero. That's why. Similarly, in columns also, if we have to like fetch the columns, or for that matter, in rows also. See here also, the first row is specified using index zero, right? So this you need to like take care. So if you just want one column, you can write that way, and if you want like multiple columns, let's say 0 1 and 3, right? So yeah, you have got row 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, north 16th, because this is exclusive, and sepal length, sepal width, and petal width. Let's like cross check also, like what is 013, like whether it is sepal length, sepal width, and petal width. We did correctly or not? Let's see. So sepal length, sepal width, and petal length we didn't get because we wrote 0, 1, and 3 and not 2. This is clear? Didn't get you? हाँ बिल्कुल देख लेते हैं अगर कर सकते हैं या नहीं. बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. 0, 1, 2 थी कॉलम्स में भी मिल गई. सो बेसिकली लाइक 0:3 जब हेल्पफुल रहेगा जब हमें कंटिन्यूस कॉलम्स चाहिए. सो बेसिकली 0, 1, 2 सारी चाहिए. बट अगर हमें डिस्क्रीट रो चाहिए, डिस्क्रीट एज इन मतलब कंटिन्यूस नहीं, तो 0, 1 एंड फोर्थ लाइक फिफ्थ चाहिए, फोर्थ लेट्स से. सो उस चीज में द स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट्स इज हेल्पफुल. सिमिलरली रोज में भी अगर हमें लाइक लेट्स से हमें फर्स्ट रो चाहिए, सेकंड रो चाहिए एंड सेवंथ रो चाहिए, बस यही स्पेसिफिक चाहिए. So for second and C7, I'll plug in my charger. Just give me a minute. Any doubts? Discontinuity में square brackets are helpful, and continuity में like 0:3, 0:5 or whatever you want to specify. Just I log and rows, comma, columns. Any doubts, questions, queries? Anything you didn't understand? Hmm? Yes, no? Yeah, for me. For all? Sakshi, Pratiksha? Yeah. Clear? Good. Okay, great, great. All right then. We like similar to pandas, we have a library known as numpy. So numpy also you can simply install using pip install numpy. Again for me requirement only just satisfied, but yeah, like for you some other license will come because like one is again like it is one time installation, so you just install it once, and then what you have to do is import numpy. You can just do simple import numpy also, or similar to pandas you can write import numpy as np. This as np is optional, we are just doing it so that like हमें बार बार numpy मतलब बड़ा सा ना लिखना पड़े, just np short form से काम चल जाए. Right. So what is numpy? Numpy is similar to basically arrays and lists in Python. So numpy is 50 times faster implementation of lists in Python. So numpy is usually preferred for faster implementation. And numpy backend code is some sections are written in Python, but yeah, mostly the code is in C and C++ because like if we have to like implement something faster, mostly C and C++ is used because it has faster implementations. So let's just create a numpy array and see how we can do that. So I have a variable, let's say array, and what I can do is np dot array brackets, and then I can specify whatever I want to add, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45. Okay, no issues. Now let's check the, like, we can print it even. So array this, and let's check the type. Perfect. Numpy dot array. So we have like in this, like, we can have 1D array, 2D array, 3D array. There are multiple options. We can have like add, subtract, multiply, divide, and so on and so forth, like power operation in arrays. So there are multiple operations. So let's just see, like, let's say we have one array as 1, 2, 3, and another array is 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we want to add these two array. Let's just first run this. So I've initialized my variables. Now to add the array, what I can do is, let's say I have a variable someone, so someone equals to np dot add, and in that specify whatever you want to add. So array 1 and array 2, and I want to then print this. So you got the sum, right? Simple matrix addition as we do. 357. Then if you want to, let's say, subtract, what you can do is np dot subtract and specify the arrays. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Perfect. Again, like, you can multiply as well. 2, 6, 12. Simple, like, what the rules are same as we do matrix multiplication, and we also have something known as divide. Division is also there. Now, let's say you want to have power of every number, like you want 2 power 2, 3 power 2, 4 power 2, right? So what you can do is simply np dot power, specify the array, let's say array 2, and then whatever power you want to give, like let's say 2, 4, 9, 6. 2 power 2, 4, 3 power 2, 9, 4 power 2, 16. So just the basic arithmetics using numpy. Numpy may you also have this like graph plotting also we can do using matplotlib library. So again, matplotlib installation. After installation, what you can do is from matplotlib import pyplot as plt. Again, as plt is optional, just that we don't want to write pyplot again, so we just do this. So from here we can like do how can we plot the graphs. Let's have some arrays, like np dot arrange 1 comma 11. Number has no attribute arrange. Strange. Let's check why it is so. Okay, no brackets are there. Okay, not double R. And let's print x to see what happens. So what just happened? Let's try some another example. So to be more clear, we are getting just the values, right? This is clear, right? If you want a continuous array, like let's say 1 to 1000, if you'll manually write 1 to 1000, that will take very long. So you can just simply use numpy dot arrange and specify whatever. I think in this you can also specify a step. I'll just check. Yeah. So in range function we have step, right? We can specify step like how many jumps we want to make. So here also you can specify the jumps. This is clear or not? Great, great. So you can also do something like zero point 0.5. Let's see what happens. So yeah. And again, this first is inclusive and second exclusive. And then this step function. Very like exactly similar to range function. Great. So let's say 1 to 10. This will have how many values? 1 to 10? Exactly. So 9 values. Great. So then we can also do something like y equals to 2 into x plus 5. Let's say. Let's see what is our y. So like what should be y? Any guesses? What should be the output of y? जिस थॉट प्रोसेस भी बता दो लाइक मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं है. कुछ भी आइडिया लग रहा हो क्या होना चाहिए. 1 2 0. ये फॉर्मूला लगना चाहिए या नहीं लगना चाहिए. Great, great. So exactly. Hmm. Hmm. Correct, correct. It will be 7. So basically, for every corresponding number, this formula will be applied. Right? So 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, and 23. So it should have 9 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can also like check the length. So len of y 9. Right? So length of numpy array is also checked using len function. So x and y we have defined. Now let's say I want to plot this on a graph. This is linear equation, right? So let's say like I want to plot. So what I can do is plt dot plot, and in that I can specify my x and y. And I want to like okay, just like first do this p, and then you can write plt dot show. So as expected, graph of a linear equation. Now this is very vague, right? I'm not getting any information that what is my x, what is my y, and what this graph actually means, right? If you like in while if you are like doing research and there are multiple graphs, so how can you show your professor that which graph is this? Your graph should be like explainable, right? It should like whenever like any person sees the graph should speak for itself, and no need to justify like what is x, what is y, and what is this graph showing. So we have something known as plt dot title to give the title of the graph. Let's say linear equation I want to specify, right? And for specifying the x and the y labels, because like in school also you must have you if you guys like remember, always like our math teacher used to deduct zero point 0.5 marks, right, for not right specifying the x and the y label. Was it the same case with you guys? Hello. Yeah, yeah, right. So, like, it is absolutely important to specify the title, the X and the Y label. So, title we can specify with PLT dot title, and X label using X, and label, like, let's say num1, anything like whatever we want to specify, and then PLT dot Y label num2. Just one important thing to note is that PLT dot show should come in last, because like show will like have the output of the plot, so we have to like specify above. PLT dot plot you can specify after this, so instead of like writing on the top, you can also write after this title, X label and the Y label, no issues, but yeah, PLT dot show should be in the last. So see, X label, Y label, and the linear equations. Similarly, you can also specify the X ticks and the Y ticks. So after the class, like, just feel free to explore that what are the different options we can do. X ticks means instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, you want 1, 3, 5, that way, or like let's say 0, 10, 20, 30 in gaps of 10, or in like gaps of 1,000, 2,000, millions, because like let's say if you are predicting the case surge for COVID-19, right? So for the complete world, so definitely you cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because the numbers can go in thousands, or let's say lakhs, right? In peak, like it was lakhs only. So if you are like tracking the total number of cases, so like in that we can have the, this is like called as X ticks and the Y ticks. So for like that case, we can have in thousands, or even like 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakh, and so on. So using that, we can easily specify that. You can also change the color if you want, or the type of the line. Like instead of this like plain line, you can have a dotted line, tilted line, like tilted, not exactly tilted, but yeah, like dotted, or some any other fancy line you can have. So yeah, uh, this like styling and all can like go on. Another very important thing is there are times when like you can let's say like in graphs can also be generated in for loops, right? Let's say you have linear equation and quadratic equation, and you don't want to run this code like 2 times. So what you can do is in like have a for loop, and in for loop you can change your X and Y. So maybe in a list you can have the X and the Y variable, so it can be like taken accordingly. So in that case, if you are doing PLT dot show, your first graph will be shown first, and then second graph will be shown for and then like second graph will be shown in the for loop, but our first graph will disappear, right? So you want to save the graph. So the technique to save the graph is PLT dot save fig, and specify the name. Let's say like fig dot, and I want to save it as a PNG. Figure saved. Let's check. Figure saved. Okay, let's download it. Blank. I think it is because of show. Let's check. It will be overwritten. So yeah. So whatever like format you want, PNG, JPG, JPEG, PDF, anything you can specify here. Similarly, you can also save it in your Google Drive. So if you are, let's say, generating 20 graphs in a for loop, so obviously it is very tedious task to download again, and like download 20 times, right? Because these files are temporary, and it will be deleted after 12 hours. So you can also specify your drive. So content drive, oh, sorry, content drive, my drive, and then have like let's say a folder graphs one. Important thing to note, graphs one should be existing in your drive, because like here the folder will not be created, so like you must have this graphs one folder already there in your drive, otherwise like this like code will throw an error. So I don't have any graphs one, right? So let's run it and see. So yeah, no such file or directory, graphs one. So if I remove this folder and I just want to save it in my drive, no specific folder. So see, it has like successfully run and my file is saved because this is like two. This point is clear. Hello. Last line again. Okay, sure. So basically, in the like when you are saving in the drive, I can like maybe show also. So basically, like let's say I want to save it in a folder known as graph, like called as graphs, named as graphs one. So if I do this and like I assume that it will be created automatically, but no, it is not the case. So till this content drive my drive, it is same for all. So if like you guys also like try the, just one important thing, that the two lines I wrote like from google.collab import drive and drive.mount content drive. So that cell is important to run whenever you start a collab. If you want to like change the save the changes in your drive, so you can just specify this content drive my drive, and then you can like specify the folder in which you can save. If this graphs one folder exists in your drive, then this will be saved, no issues. But if it does not, it will not be created. This graphs one folder will not be created, only this file is created. So it has given me error, right? Let's say I create I have like, let's check what folders I have. So my drive. So let's say I want to save it in BTP folder. Okay, BTP is something tricky. Let's check another folder. So BDMH assignment. Okay, that's fine. So I can write BDMH assignment and then fig.png and let's see what happens. See, it is saved, and I can also check that if it is saved or not. So BTP, I'll just open it. BDMH assignment. Okay. Yeah, fig.png. See, it is saved, right? Let's download and check if it is right or not. See, it is saved. So now this is permanent. Just give me a minute, right? I'll be back. Yeah. This is clear? Hello? I can explain again, yeah, like if it's unclear. Like clear for all, Sakshi, Pratiksha, Subhi? Oh, oh, fine, fine. So yeah, so like as we have different types of plot like bar plot, histogram, so on and so forth. So instead of like PLT dot plot, we can specify like PLT dot, like let's say if we want to plot a bar plot. So instead of plot, we can also write bar or like histogram. So this you can like always check. So let's say I want to check like how can we plot histogram for matplotlib, right? So yeah, see, I've got it. because self learning is like very 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 important. Like Alok and I can only teach like a limited number of things, like, but there are infinite number of things you can like learn in like styling, changing the text color, boldness. There are multiple things. So like if you want to, let's say, plot histogram, so see, like, first of all some data is created, and then you have this hist functions for histogram. So plt dot hist, and then you can just specify whatever it is. So we can even try that. So plt dot hist x. So see, our histogram is there. Again, you can specify the title using the same, like plt dot title, and all this remains same. So let's say I had no knowledge about how to draw a histogram using matplotlib. It hardly took me not even a minute, right? To just check what is happening. So I just had to write plt.hist, and my graph is there. And the labels and all are like consistent. We just have to like write title, x label, y label. And again for saving, you can write plt.savefile. Similarly, if we like, let's say I don't know how to plot bar plot, right? So bar plot, matplot. The top links are always the links which are like most useful and like most used, so they are like usually correct, right? And otherwise, like, you can have multiple links, and also like for complicated tasks you always have YouTube, right? So YouTube is again very helpful. So yeah, x label, y label. So yeah, see, plt dot bar, specify whatever your x and y is. So x and y has courses and the value. Again, yeah. Courses offered, number of students. Perfect. See, I was telling, right? We can change even the color, the width, and all. So, color equals to maroon, red, blue, green, whatever you want to specify. Even the size of the figure you can alter using this plt.fig and fixes, and you can specify whatever the size you want. Any doubts? Anything specific which you want to ask? Because, like, it's done from my side. Hello? Yeah, you are audible. ठीक है. बताओ. ओके. हाँ. ठीक है, ठीक. हम्म. रैंड होता है ना, आई थिंक, या रैंडम ही होता है. रैंडम ही. ठीक है, तो रैंड. हम्म. ठीक है. हम्म. रीशेप, हाँ, रीशेप, राइट. हम्म. अच्छा. हाँ, मतलब रन करना है. 100 है ना, बिकॉज वो 10 क्रॉस 10 तो 100 होगा ना. हाँ, तो 100 कर देते हैं उसे. फेयर इनफ. सो ये एरर क्यों आया, क्लियर है, राइट? बिकॉज हमारे पास 1000 अगर नंबर्स हैं, तो वो रीशेप 10 क्रॉस 10 में तो हो नहीं सकते. 10 क्रॉस 10 मैट्रिक्स में तो 100 ही वैल्यूज आएंगी. तो इसलिए वी गॉट एन एरर. हम्म. हम्म. इन शो. ओके, आई एम शो. इमेज शो वाला होगा. हम्म. हम्म. रंजू है. you're audible. एक मतलब मुझे भी पॉसिबिलिटी तो लाइक वही दिख रही है कि टेक्स्ट माइनिंग ही करनी पड़ेगी, डेटा स्ट्रैप ही करना पड़ेगा अगर कोई इनबिल्ट लाइक डेटाबेस नहीं है। एज इन लाइक आई सर्च की मतलब ब्रेन कैंसर एंड ड्रग मॉलिक्यूल किस पेपर्स में है, तो अगर ये कीवर्ड्स होंगे तो उसके बेसिस पे ही शॉर्टलिस्ट करने पड़ेंगे। हम्म। 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 राइट। बिल्कुल। हम्म। 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 राइट, राइट। हम्म। हम्म। राइट। हम्म। हम्म। राइट, करेक्ट। हम्म। करेक्ट। नहीं, इमेज का होगा, राइट। हाउ आर images used in by like medicine field? हाँ। मतलब मेडिकल फील्ड में इमेजेस कहाँ यूज होती हैं वैसे? पिक्चर्स। एग्जैक्टली, 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 परफेक्ट। बिल्कुल। ईसीजी में भी एक्चुअली यूज हो सकता है, मतलब उस अगर प्लॉट को, राइट, अगर स्टडी करे। नहीं, ईसीजी में ऐसे लाइक जो लाइंस आती हैं उसको तो लाइक स्टडी कर सकते हैं ना। नहीं, अगर एज अ इमेज लेंगे हम। है ना, ईसीजी में ऐसी लाइक हार्ट बीट सॉर्ट ऑफ ही तो आती है ना। हम्म। नहीं, वो मतलब कर तो दोनों तरीका सकते हैं फिर। वो ऑप्शंस हैं, हाँ, बट लाइक सीवी हो सकती है, हाँ। No, sure, sure. Yeah, we yeah make sure that good feedback. Yeah, yeah. Hello. सही था. Yes.